World War II brought about numerous changes in the world, but it particularly revolutionized the heavy-duty industry, compelling the creation of new and improved tools to maximize production efforts in all aspects. In the automotive industry, this was no exception. As in the United States, the mass production of B-24 bombers forced factories to develop a cost-effective and efficient way to transport them from one plant to another for construction. At the time, the most efficient solution came in the form of trucks equipped with 2 Ford engines, each with 100 horsepower, coupled with 4-speed transmissions. Each engine had its own switches, gauges, and cooling system, essentially making these units 2 1.5-ton trucks on a single chassis. An exceptionally peculiar aspect was that these engines could be removed via a tray located at the front, which supported them. Their primary purpose was essentially to tow super-trailers, nearly 20 meters in length, to transport B-24 parts from assembly plants located in California, Texas, Oklahoma, and Michigan. Unfortunately, the exact entity behind their development remains uncertain. While the Ford brand is generally attributed to them, given that these units primarily use components, such as the aforementioned engine from Ford, records indicate that a company called Thorco built at least 100 of these units. In the mid-1960s, a grain carrier operating in the rural areas of Illinois named Frank Grip faced the need for a more powerful truck than those in his fleet to meet his demands on time. Because they couldn't afford to acquire a new unit, Grip took matters into his own hands and applied a kind of rhinoplasty to his 1957 Diamond T730C in order to implement 2 engines. This process required many tests with different engines, including some like 4-cylinder Jeep engines, that didn't add significant power. The final result was a combination of the original 6-cylinder Red Diamond International engine in the truck with a Buick V8 engine, connected through the torque converter of the latter's automatic transmission. Once the goal was achieved, the truck was put into operation with this peculiar design, earning the nickname Pinocchio, until rust forced its retirement from the road. Subsequently, the unit was sold and eventually came into the hands of Adams Transit Company, who restored it. Interestingly, the added weight on the front axle made the unit difficult to control, almost causing it to crash during its first ride after the restoration. Finally, in 2013, the Diamond T730C was auctioned along with 80 other collectible trucks, and it is believed to possibly be in a car museum on the outskirts of Washington, D.C. Fueled by a spirit of reinvention, the company called Eisenhauer Manufacturing, based in Ohio, decided to venture into the production of heavy-duty trucks, prompted by the sudden drop in demand for railroad machinery that they manufactured after the conclusion of World War II. Taking the term heavy-duty quite seriously, they launched their initiative in 1946 by introducing the prototype of a twin-engine truck with 3 steering axles. Known as the Eisenhauer Twin-Engine Freighter, it featured a very primitive version of what is now known as cylinder deactivation. The dual engines were proposed as a solution to have power on loaded journeys and economy on empty trips, since it allowed one of the 2 engines to be shut off. Both engines were from the Chevrolet brand, and their inline 6 cylinders generated around 90 horsepower and 250 newton-meters of torque. Additionally, this prototype was based on a pair of medium-duty Chevrolet trucks, measuring a total of 10.6 meters, with 7.6 meters dedicated solely to the platform. Its payload capacity was approximately 20 tons, And although a wide range of conceptual illustrations of models with enclosed cargo boxes or as tanker trucks were created as part of the extensive advertising campaign, only the prototype model was ever manufactured. Unfortunately, and for reasons still unknown, the company lost interest, resulting in mass production never being initiated. Similar to a good movie, this twin-engine concept has a sequel. A decade later, in 1957, Eisenhower presented the evolution of its original truck, now known as the X2. Although it appeared to be primarily a cabin redesign at first glance, it was now powered by two GMC 302C engines, each with 145 horsepower. 6 units of this model were produced, but unfortunately, the company lacked the necessary resources to initiate mass production, so their hopes relied on funding from the U.S. Army, which never materialized. Founded in 1920, Euclid was one of the many American companies that made a significant impact in the world of heavy-duty machinery. Their innovations in earth-moving equipment led them to produce dump trucks with transport capacities of up to 100 tons. However, one of the things they are most remembered for was the implementation and recurrent use of twin-engine systems, which characterize many of the machines produced by this brand. One of their most iconic and impressive units was the Euclid 8x4. Records show that at least 2 units remained in operation for the transportation company Hake Rigging, which is now part of the Barnhart Group. In contrast to the twin-engine models produced between the 1940s and 1960s, which typically used gasoline engines, the brand decided to use diesel propulsion units, specifically Cummins NH220 engines, each capable of producing 200 horsepower. This system operated with the use of 2 semi-automatic Allison Torquematic transmissions, with one installed for each engine to control the axles separately, achieving better power management for the vehicle. Unfortunately, this system fell into decline at the same time Euclid did. After its acquisition and sale by General Motors due to monopoly issues, as well as the retirement and departure of key executives from the brand, Euclid and its innovations gradually faded from the field of work over time. Before you go, we'd like to recommend our channel, Gear Unlimited. You'll find excellent content on various topics that we're sure you'll enjoy. Thank you for joining our community. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. Until next time.